So talking about a supplemental, the supplemental claim and appeal is one of the 3 appeals that you can submit when you receive an initial VA claim. As a matter of fact, you can submit a supplemental claim under any one of the decisions you might receive. You can receive a BVA judge's decision. You can receive a higher level review. You can receive an initial VA claim. At any juncture, you can file what's called a supplemental claim. A supplemental claim presupposes that you have new and relevant evidence. And you have 1 year to submit this supplemental claim, which is one of the 3 lanes of your appeal rights. And oftentimes what we see happening with a supplemental claim is the VA schedules their own examinations again because they don't accept your doctor's report, your treating medical professional's report of 20 years. They would rather schedule an exam with someone who never treats you and only meets you for 30 minutes, but that's a whole different story. So they defer to their nurse practitioners and their physician assistants instead of your treating MD of 20 years. And oftentimes it leads to a favorable decision, but oftentimes it doesn't. And if that supplemental claim still leads to an unfavorable VA decision, then you're just going to recycle the whole process. You have 3 appeal options. You can file a higher level review. You can submit more evidence and file yet another supplemental claim, or you can go straight to a board judge with a notice of disagreement. And as I point out, the notice of disagreement is the exact same name of a form used for a completely different step in the appeals process under legacy appeals. How in the world the VA and the government decided using the exact same name for a form with a different purpose under a new jurisdiction was a good idea is beyond me. It's confusing for attorneys, it's confusing for veteran service officers and accredited agents. I don't know what they were thinking. But nonetheless, a notice of disagreement is used under the Appeals Modernization Act to appeal to a board judge. Under the legacy appeals, a notice of disagreement was the first form used to initiate an appeal and to request a decision review officer, or commonly referred to as a DRO, review their case. And there again, one of the important things with the supplemental claim is you have to have new and relevant evidence. So what's an example of new and relevant evidence? Well, maybe you go and you have a doctor say that they think your cancer was caused by your Agent Orange exposure. Or maybe the doctor says in writing they think that your knee problems were caused by you jumping out of an airplane 30 or 40 times as a paratrooper. Or they think that your hysterectomy was caused by issues that you had on active duty. I mean, just any type of causation. Or maybe they say your knee pain and your limitation of motion is worse than the 10% evaluation the VA is paying you, that your flexion's limited to 20 degrees or whatever it might be. But it gets to the substance of an evaluation or a VA's decision. That's what's relevant. It gets to some type of substance that could maybe change a previous determination made by the VA. And again, it's a low threshold. New and relevant evidence is a low threshold. So you can submit any type of evidence, medical documentation, statements from friends and family. Perhaps new and relevant evidence could be a statement from someone you worked with on active duty who says, yeah, I saw the veteran get attacked at a bar. He wasn't drinking. He was walking by a bar and he got attacked by someone. That might be grounds for a PTSD claim, but we didn't have proof of it. We just had a treatment record after the fact, but they really didn't elaborate on whether it was an attack or what it was. So new and relevant evidence is a very low threshold to overcome to submit a supplemental claim. And that supplemental claim keeps appeals alive. The reason you want to choose these appeal processes, whether it be a supplemental claim, whether it be a higher level review, or whether it be a notice of disagreement, is that initial claim, if you sit on your appeal rights and you fail to submit one of these appeals, you're losing that effective date and you have to start a claim over. So you're talking potentially tens or hundreds of thousands if you sit on your appeal rights, because all of that time that you would have potentially received a favorable decision, it's gone. And so there's ways around that, but it's a very high legal threshold and burden to overcome called a clear and unmistakable error. So it's incumbent on claimants to avail themselves of their appeal rights under the Appeals Modernization Act.